Bit of a disclaimer, this was supposed to be just talking about BTS's Map the Soul Persona album review, but since so many things are happening in the K-pop community involving China and K-pop idols that are in fact Chinese, I wanted to do a mashup of both videos because I just wanted to get this out very faster than if I would make a whole separate video talking about one or the other. So this is what's happening. I'll put timestamps on the screen and in the description of what I'm talking about, so you can like skip if you don't want to hear about one or the other. So first off is the BTS review. Intro Persona. I like it more than Shadow, but less than Ego. Stan RM though, but I I like rap songs sometimes and not all the time, but I personally really like this specific one because I love Arm's flow. Boy with Love. It's a good song. I have war flashbacks because me and my friends did like a little basically lip sync in the 8th grade to Boy with Love, and it's so bad. It traumatized me from ever hearing the song. It's the weakest. It's the weakest out of the title tracks in general. Like out of all the BTS title track, it's one of the weakest. It's especially weak compared to On, but also, it shouldn't have one song of the year. I'm still mad about that. It should not have one song of the year over Fancy, because Fancy, it's more iconic. You can be mad about that. Microcosmos. I love it. I used to think he would pronounce it as Micromos until on Jimmy Fallon they said Microcosmos, and I was like, wait a minute, that's how you say that? And I felt dumb ever since. Make It Right. One of my least favorite songs in general out of BTS's entire lineup. I listened to the one with that white boy that was featured on it. I like his verse the most, even though it's not the original version of it. But it's whatever. It's I don't really care for it. It's fine, but I took it out of my playlist. So yeah. Home, one of my fave BTS songs. Period. What not maybe not K-pop in general, but BTS, yes. This song makes me want to film a music video for this song. I love it so much. Like, what top song in the album? One of my favorite BTS songs in general. Jemi's View, another song that I didn't really like. I like it more than Make It Right though. It's the decent song, but I like subunits a lot. I like subunits for BTS. I like subunits in general most of the time because it just really, you get a vibe of that idol more than just in a group sometimes. But I just wouldn't listen to I just wouldn't listen to the song. I wouldn't go out and search the song up on my own. That is a fact. Dionysus, a complete and utter headbanger. Stan talent, y'all. And these are my final rankings since I forgot to do them at the end of each clip. Intro Persona, 6 out of 10. But with Love, 6 out of 10. Microcosmos, 9 out of 10. Make It Right, 4 out of 10. Home, 10 out of 10. Jemi's View, 5 out of 10. And Dionysus, 8 out of 10. Now this is the part of the video that I'm talking about the current issues with Chinese celebrities and maybe just my personal issue with K-pop in general. So if this where you want to click off, go for it. If this where you just started listening to it, welcome. Put your own personal opinions down below. I hope you know that if I think you're wrong, I'm gonna say you're wrong. So be aware of that before I say something stupid. So now we're on to the K-pop opinions portion of it. So I'm going to talk about how a whole bunch of Chinese idols are coming out and saying that they agree with what China is doing in general, but with the Muslim camp, the cotton Muslim camp, and all of the violent protesters and things like that. So I'm going to speak mostly on Jackson Wang since that's the one that I personally used to stan him, but then he kept being problematic and had to unstand. So the reason why I think he actually means when he says he supports them and not just because the Chinese government quote unquote forced him is because in the past, whenever we've seen an idol say, oh, I don't agree with this, or just a celebrity in general, They say I don't agree with China, what China is doing. They just lost sponsorships in China, and they got banned from China. But it's never something like their families are getting killed, you know. And if Jackson really cared about his family, he's rich. He could just move his family to a different country or to Korea. Also, from his past Instagram, he always posts about China. Like he always reps his country. He's the equivalent of an all-American man in the U.S. It's always that he supports his country no matter what. Because in 2019, he said stand all in China, or stand for China, when the Hong Kong like protests were really happening, and he said that, and then he made his entire group, GOT7, cancel their tour or their concert in Hong Kong because the Hong Kong protesters were going to attack him. Sometimes it's best to stay quiet. The main thing people have been putting on is like, oh my god, but AliExpress CEO went missing because he talked bad about China. And to what I have to say to that is, AliExpress is worth like 3 point something billion dollars, and Jackson Wang is a celebrity from China. They are on the same level. They're not on the same level of importance. I'm sorry. A $1 billion company and Jackson Wang from China. They're on the same level. I don't think so. And then I was like, what proof as you have people getting snatched up by Chinese government? And they're like, but the government, like, I'm sorry, but the government probably hit it. But like, it's 2021. So many things are becoming up to the air. I very much doubt they're just snatching up people without a single trace. Not a single person has found out of anything. Stalker fans are real. They will find you. So I very much doubt that China's snatching up celebrities' fans if they don't disagree with what they're saying. And half of them don't even live. All the people who are saying, all the idols who are saying is don't even live in China. From what I know, all the people that I've seen say that they support China, they don't live in China. So it wouldn't necessarily affect them on a grand scale. Because why? Because they live in Korea or anywhere else besides China. Now I'm drifting towards more of just K-pop opinions and not really the China situation with idols. When you have idols posting yellow squares to say stop Asian hate, that seems offensive. That being said, I am not Asian, but posting yellow square to support stop Asian hate seems offensive. It's like you're calling them yellow, which I would think is offensive. Please tell me if it's not, but I would think it's offensive. Also, you have so many idols getting called out for being racist, homophobic, a bad person in general. And I would just like to say that all the fans that are still supporting them or making excuses for them, you're part of the problem. Okay, you have to draw a line between your values and K-pop. Most of y'all can't do that. I'm not gonna support, say, Jackson, because I was a huge diehard Jackson fan until he did digital blackface. I saw him wear dreads. I saw him defend himself wearing dreads. I saw him posting about supporting China. That was the last straw. I stopped standing. Then you have Red Velvet, Wendy specifically. People still support Wendy after all of this time where she was racist. She apologized, and then she was racist again. And she didn't apologize. She knowingly did it twice. There's no reason. There's no reason for her to do that. Then you have Blackpink. Blackpink is racist. Blackpink did appropriated Disney culture. You can say the stylist did it, sure, but what about all the times when it was of their own actions, when they're on Knowing Bros, they did the head movements, they moved their arms around to make it seem like mocking like Desi culture. Then you have all the time behind the scenes, behind the MVs video that we've seen of them mocking it. That was their own accents without the company. Y'all, I feel like idols have more control over their actions and what they say and what they wear than we actually believe. And now saying the company controls everything is really you just defending them and not wanting to make it seem like you're standing a bad person. Half of Blackpink is from Western culture, so half of them should educate the other half that doesn't, that you shouldn't make racist comments, you shouldn't culture appropriate. Why? Because they should know better. There's no reason why they don't. They shouldn't know to not wear box braids. Lisa wore box braids in Kill This Love era. Then, then a couple months later, they went on an interview and said, "Oh, they understand how bad culture appropriation is." And then continue. Then Lisa continues to post a photo of her box braids on our Instagram, and Instagram is the one thing that Blackpink really has complete control over. So what you gonna say about that? Or Boombaya, it is said to have Native American dances in it, along with I think do 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 do. So y'all really need to start holding your favorites accountable. I stand problematic people. I understand that, but I also hold them accountable. Y'all can't complain about what they're doing and they continue to buy their merch. Continue to stream their songs. Continue to put money in their pocket, but then complain about what they're doing. You can't have both. I complain about what they're doing and I stop supporting them. Jackson Wang, I stopped supporting. I support God7. Okay, up to 6. We're not supporting Jackson anymore. I stopped streaming any of his content. I stopped following him on Twitter. We need to start holding our peers accountable, or else it's never gonna get better. That's all I have to say. Put your comments down below, or opinions about what you think about just like what's happening in K-pop in general, and specifically the Chinese situation. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Okay, guess what I just found? SK Sin something like that, basically removed all of Jackson's photo off of their Instagram, and the media think it's because of what he said about supporting China's cotton camps. And so I googled what that company was, and it's a freaking department store in Korea. He's gonna lose so much money. He's gonna lose money. Not even so much money. He's gonna lose money. He's gonna lose money from him losing this deal, any other deal that people are just like, I ain't reckoning with that. His fans are dropping him. And like, sir, he might have did it for his family, but most likely for a check. I thoroughly believe that Jackson Wang is doing this. One, because he stands by what he's saying and he means it. Plus, he wants that check. He's gonna get money from touring in China, from having sponsorships in China. And it's the fact that people are like, but his family, and I'm just like, but his family what? Like, we've never seen anyone actually get hurt. And it's not like his company is forcing him. Why? Because he's his own company. They're not under JYP anymore. So what is a company gonna do? Plus, you have that girl from Everglow saying she supports it, and people are saying she should get kicked out of Everglow. I'm like, yeah, she should get kicked out. She supports it. Like, it doesn't matter what the reasoning is. I think the reasoning is nonsense either way. It's just a check. But like, either way, she should get kicked out. People should stop standing them 0-5 all the way. I would say that, and they'd be like, oh my god, but like, it's childish. But like, I have a right to unstand who I want for whatever reason. Like, I'm just loving, I want more companies to come out and say that they're not supporting him or they're dropping him. And just like, I just want to watch it all happen and just unfold. Because I'm waiting for the day that like every non-Chinese sponsorship or brand drops him. Because hasn't Jackson Wang and Adidas been like a thing? Or like Jackson Wang, like Adidas and GOT7, so like including Jackson, for like since like the Lullaby days. Like, that was in 2018. And then in 2019, he made that same comment about him supporting Hong Kong protesters. Don't worry, I'll have a link to everything in the description box. But I'm just having a blast. But it's also really made me realize how much I really do hate K-pop stans.